All right, everybody, before we get to this intro and episode, there'll be double intro today. I am super excited because not only is Tom Seymour a guest on this episode of the People of Packaging podcast, but drumroll please, Tom is also going to be our first guest slash host, and Tom is going to be hosting a mini series. Right now we've got 7 episodes. Maybe we'll do 6. That's dead. That was so 2025. So Tom's going to be hosting a mini series within the People of Packaging podcast called Beyond the Dieline Founders Edition. He's going to have real CPG founders talking about their story. You don't have to subscribe to a different podcast or a different Substack or anything. Everything will be living here. Tom is the first person. I've got some more people that I'm talking to about hosting and expanding the People of Packaging podcast network to include more people who want to host podcasts. And so I'm super grateful for Tom, not only for being a guest, for being a friend, but also for being willing to venture out into this great unknown world of podcast hosting. So be tuned in for Tom's Beyond the Dieline podcast. Let's get to the intro and then get to the episode with Tom Seymour from Mocha and Bison Bag. Hey, boys and girls and everybody in the entire world. Good evening or afternoon or morning or wherever you are, whatever time it is, and whoever you are listening to the greatest People of Packaging podcast episode ever recorded on this date. So that's going to be amazing. I am joined by my friend, Tom Seymour. Tom is the business development and marketing manager over at Bison Bag. He is also the founder of a brand new company, which I'm stoked to hear more about, called Mocha Energy. And he is a CPN, a certified packaging nerd. So Tom and I connected up through the IOPP. His official title is CPP, but I'm going to ask if we can change it to a certified packaging nerd, or if there can be a CPN certification maybe through the IOPP. It's like, if you've listened to every People of Packaging podcast, you are a certified packaging nerd. We'll see what Tom says right after this intro. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Hey, good, Adam. How you doing today?
You were looking very bald and with your glasses on, and so we're keeping that same energy.
Yes.
I got like the same. I got a black fleece zip up. What? We didn't even coordinate.
I know. I feel like more and more people are ripping off our hairstyle. Maybe that's a sign that we're getting old or something, you know?
I have wigs if need be.
There you go.
There you go. I've actually noticed in this room, I've got these, I don't do very good on my lighting control. And so there's the fluorescent LED something lights that are it's either on or off. And it's just like, just right off the top of my head.
So I got to tell you a funny story. Out at Pack Expo in Las Vegas this year, I was at Pack Gives Back at the Cirque du Soleil show. And I'm sitting there with my wife and a couple of customers, and I notice all of a sudden the spotlight on my bald head. And then here comes the host of the show. And I'm like making eye contact, trying not to, like looking back. And I'm like, no, he's coming here. That spotlight's on me. And he comes over and he like does this big breath on my head, pulls a rag out of his pocket and like polishes my bald head. And yeah, that was my memorable Pack Expo experience this year.
Funny story. I went to a show at Pack Expo this year. I went and saw The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere with my lovely and amazing wife. And we were sitting 2 rows in front of Dr. Andrew Hurley and his daughter. And his daughter was like, "Excuse me, are you Adam Peake?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. Hello."
Nice.
Yeah, it was a cool show. But we are not here to break down the Vegas entertainment nightlife or options. We are here to talk about Tom Seymour. What do you think, though, about in the intro? Could we get a CPN certification?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Camille would sign off on it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we could start a new thing for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's I saw Corey Connors just got on the board. So I've got some people who I think are gonna do it.
Put it to a vote.
Yeah, let's put it to a vote. Well, Tom, tell the listening audience, who in the world is Tom Seymour besides biz dev and marketing manager, founder of Mocha Energy? They can look that up on LinkedIn, but
Yeah. So I guess at the core, I'm a lover of people. And that's what has squarely put me in the role of business development and sales my entire career. So yeah, I think that's the root of it, right? I really love people. I love problem solving, and I seem to be pretty good at it. At the end of the day, really, that's what we're doing: is we're taking care of people, we're solving their problems, and we're doing that with packaging. And the amazing part is, we get to do it in food packaging, and that goes out and touches everybody across the globe. So I find it to be really rewarding and exciting work. So yeah, at the core of it, I would say that's who I am. But yeah, I guess I wear a lot of hats. So my passion for flexible packaging is fulfilled through Bison Bag. Great family-based flexible packaging printer converter in North Buffalo area. So that is one hat.
Can we hang out on this hat rack for a second?
Yeah.
Because I know we have other hats to get to.
Yeah.
And probably we should be wearing them. So you mentioned, so you guys at Bison Bag, you love helping people solve problems. So like, what problems, when somebody says, Tom, I'm struggling with this issue, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's actually exactly what we do at Bison Bag. Like, what is the thing that people are struggling with that you're like, aha, we can nail it. This is our jam right here. Or
yeah. Well, what's super interesting is that 9 times out of 10, the problem has nothing to do with packaging. So, a lot of times I'm kind of using that super highway, super network that I've built over the years to really provide solutions around the total supply chain and build that relationship and partnership that ends up returning as a packaging opportunity. So I would say that's one of the superpowers at Bison, is that we're looking at the total supply chain and really trying to figure out. So our motto is your success is our success.
Sure.
But that's not just based in packaging. So I would say a lot of the times my phone rings, it's like, Tom, I'm having trouble getting egg yolk powder, or I can't find folding cartons, or I need labels, or I can't find a co-packer, or my co-packer, is not the right one for me right now. Or, hey, Tom, like, I know you have connections upstream and sales channels. Like, who can I talk to connect to maximize our reach in a particular sales channel? And so really working through with customers, trying to provide support from concept to scaled commercialization, and somewhere in the mix, packaging takes hold. That is probably at least 75% of the time, that is what I'm doing with my day. And then 25% of the time, the phone rings and it's like, hey, we need flexible packaging. High quality and competitive costs are table stakes, right? Like you have to have that to be in the game. So it's like,
digital, flexo, gravure.
Yeah. So we do a bit of both. We're a flexo house, but we do offer a bit of digital for emerging brand. And yeah, the big piece of it is a lot of times partnerships are one-sided. So I get a lot of people ringing my phone that are like, hey, I need someone that's more engaged with our business, someone that's wanting to help more, someone that has added value. They don't usually put it that way, but that's what they're looking for, right? Because we're all plus or minus the same 5% cost. Right. And like I said, you have to be delivering quality in order to be in the market. So it's usually flexibility is a key thing. So flexibility looks like a bunch of different things. Oftentimes it's related to like lead time, turnaround, responsiveness. But then the other key things are really living out those partnership values. and finding ways to add value, right? So it's like, could we run an inventory program to help you leverage a price break and help out with your cash flow and reduce the lead time by holding inventory? So it's looking at like creative ways to pull levers to help people.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I get from a lot of the partners that come on board with us is that that's not how they've been treated at other suppliers, whether they're bigger or smaller. There's not a whole lot. It's really like kind of transactional. They'll take your purchase order, they'll take your money. There's not a whole lot of salesmanship and partnership like there was back in the day. And so I'm just kind of doing what my dad taught me to do, the blocking and tackling, the relationship building, and like looking after people the same way you would want them to look after you. And that's kind of the unique stuff that Bison Bag is still doing that has kind of been lost since COVID, I feel like.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, on the one hand, you and I could have a whole entire episode, I'm sure, about sales and marketing and just this idea of I heard it put this way by Josh Braun, who's a tremendous person to follow on LinkedIn and subscribe to his emails. But he talked about making deposits before you make a withdrawal. So make sure you have enough in the bank account before you ask for something back. And just that very idea of creating value for other people. So like you said, I get calls all the time. Just today I got a call and someone said, "Hey, do you know where we can get corrugated or chipboard partition sets in less than a week?" And I was like, "Actually, I think I got a contact for you." That has zero to do with Label King. Has nothing to do with anything. They were just like, I got to call Adam because I think he's going to know. And it's and there's no terms associated with that. I'm not like, "Well, you owe me."
Yeah.
That's not what it's about, right? And so, and I see that a lot with you, and we could maybe pivot a little bit into one of the other hats that you wear, which is, the IOPP and spending a lot of time there and giving. I mean, there was a couple of times where I would reach out to you. I'd say, "Hey, do you know someone at this company?" And you're like, "Absolutely," and you just make an introduction. There was no, you weren't coming back to me with, "Yeah, I gave you a couple intros. I need to get, come on, I need to get something back," right? So I've always appreciated that about you, and just kind of that heart posture towards others to just be serving and helping and creating value. And I see a lot of that even through the IOPP and what you're doing there.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Good people do good things, and good things come back, right? And there's never an expectation, but that is just the law of the universe. And yeah, I'm called to be a servant leader and help others and actually walk that walk and not just talk that talk. And I love seeing that, like, that my activity, connection, network, that it can benefit other people, right? Like it's just amazing, the ripple effect. And so I get personal satisfaction out of being able to do that. And I agree with you on the whole the piece about, like, my dad always taught me, because my dad was my mentor. He got me into packaging sales. And the idea of like putting your hand out to receive something, like, no, like, we're commissioned salespeople because we do the work. And then when the results are delivered, we get paid.
Yeah.
Right. And so, so it's always doing that work ahead of time to make sure that you're driving value. And then if you provide the value, there's no question, right? The paycheck comes. That's just a byproduct of providing value. So yeah, and then yeah, IOPP and the volunteering piece. Yeah, I love it. I love giving back. Like, somebody held the door for me. I'm not here because Tom Seymour's the smartest guy, the most successful guy. I'm pretty hardworking and ethical and honest. Like, those are all characteristics that I'm proud of. But I'm here because of a village of people, and I'm here because somebody held the door for me. And so I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing with these organizations. IOPP is one of those organizations that I love spending time and volunteering and serving. But it's like one of, geez, I don't know. I think it's one of 9 right now that I'm engaged with in some meaningful way. Many of which are like board positions. But yeah, it's all about giving back and networking and helping other people. And yeah, I know that it's proven in 15 years that's been the model, and I'm doing pretty good. So like, I feel like it's a good recipe,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the industry is not going away. So packaging as an industry is going to be around. I was talking to Corey Novelli about this the other day. I said, until we can teleport stuff, and that gets laughed at a lot. Like I say it as a joke, but also it's like, well, maybe there's somebody who's super smart out there who can figure out how to just like shoot a laser beam at something when it's coming off the production line. And then because I've ordered it through some like magical wizard blockchain, that it just like zaps and then and then bloop, and it's like, oh, I didn't need packaging. Okay, great. I feel like we're a bit of ways away from that. And so because of that, we're going to need packaging, and our industry needs more awareness and more people. We just need, it's one of the things I've really appreciated, whether it's the FTA, the Flexo Technical Association, or the IOPP, or the universities. Where did you go to school, by the way?
SUNY Brockport.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I was assuming you went to RIT or Michigan State.
Nope. I chose the inexpensive route. I went to all boys private Catholic school. That was on my parents' dime. And then college was on my dime. So state school back then was pretty inexpensive.
Nice.
And actually, I played football in college. I was a decent football player in high school. I wasn't as focused on my grades because I had the two things mixed. I thought that talent was what would drive you forward and not knowledge and intelligence. And so I didn't prioritize my grades. So I had like a 75 average. So I'm that guy that's like the C student that everyone says like C students are usually pretty successful people. But unfortunately, it barred me from some scholarships. So I had some 1AA and Division II schools that came through, a whole host of them, like maybe like 8 schools. And I got excused from every single meeting because of that 75 average. The minimum buy-in was 85. So SUNY Brockport came calling, and they had an exceptional talent program. They had a Division III program that rivals some Division I AA and II schools. And so I went, and that program, that exceptional talent program was a blessing because they supplied me with a tutor and mandatory study halls. And, I ended up graduating from college with a 3.5. So I went from a C student in high school to, top marks in college.
It's amazing.
And so a lot of it was that groundwork provided through the exceptional talent program.
That sounds like a program. Did you know that there's a worker visa program for people who are looking to immigrate called the Aliens of Extraordinary Ability? That's the actual program title. It's like, wow, you have to be an alien of extraordinary ability. It's like,
that's awesome.
If I got that, I would have that on my LinkedIn, for sure. That's super cool. So you kind of got it. So you got into packaging, you said, through your dad, which I got in through my uncle. I went to Colorado State. I wasn't studying. I was a pastor. I wasn't trying to get into packaging. I didn't care about it. So same kind of thing, right? It's like I got in and I kind of tried to leave after a little bit and stay in sort of that vocational ministry area. And, really honestly just felt like God was not calling me to go do that. It was to work in this industry. And I said, okay, that sounds great. But so how specifically then, I want to talk about Mocha Energy here in a second, but I'm curious, what is it about flexible packaging for you that as you've gone through that journey, you're like, this is where I want to be right now in my career, is working at, but you've been at a lot of places, not a whole host of them, but a few, like all of us, had a few jobs. What is it about flexible packaging that gets you super excited to get up? And besides the people, we've already hit the people, but about the actual packaging here for a second.
So I love the science behind it. I wasn't the best student in all subjects, but history and science were always my draw. And so this kind of scratches that science itch. I love how the technical piece, it just lines up and makes sense to me, right? Like going all the way from like the theory of polymer science to how we take that and manufacture it through the different stages to create something that provides a barrier and value to the food product, right? Like the food can't get to the shelf unless you understand the science behind, right? Like a lot of people don't think about like bread is packed in the bag it's packed because it needs a respiration, right?
Right.
M&Ms are packed in the package they're packed because they need a certain respiration. Yet other products like beef jerky or protein powder, they're packed the way they're packed because they need to be protected from oxygen and moisture. And so just understanding like the environmental piece of it, the environmental stressors that cause food products to go bad, and how we use science and materials to combat that, that fascinates me. That gets me excited every time I look at an application. And lots of people don't understand it. So I love that. To me, it's like 1+1 = 2. It just makes sense. It's easy for me. And for most of my customers and most people I interface with, like I start getting in the weeds and that stuff, and they're like, oh, you're losing me, right? So like I love nerding out with people that speak shop, because we can really get in deep to understanding like how and why we do what we do. And like and even more, like I found this incredible passion in like kind of educating and somewhat defending on the sustainability front, because I work in plastics, but I try to tell people I try to remain material agnostic, because paper was in the same position plastic is in today, like in the 80s and 90s. Like I was raised in a time when paper was like the worst thing ever. Like we were cutting down the rainforest, the whole earth.
Remember
Yeah.
Williams, yeah, that I remember that too. It's like that's so crazy. I literally say the same thing. I'm like, there was a time when I was growing up, probably listening to MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, and it was like paper is bad. We need, if you're going to pick paper or plastic, you pick the plastic bag. It's better for the environment. We're leaving trees up. It's like, okay. And we've obviously gone a little bit the other way. So yeah.
Yeah. So I try to remain material agnostic, because I remember that like whoever's getting picked on today and bullied today is probably not going to be tomorrow. And then they're going to shift their focus somewhere else. At the end of the day, every material can be looked at as problematic, but that's only through a certain lens, right? So it's also looking at those materials through the other lens that sees like the benefit, the innovation. You know, there's work that needs to be done, right? It doesn't matter the material, like it all needs to be lightweighted and reduced. And there's a million different strategies on how you can attack sustainability. But I've found this like niche within flexible packaging where I really enjoy going out and talking and educating and teaching people about how should we look at packaging to treat it fairly, to educate people and make decisions that are science backed and data based, and not public opinion based. Not like, hey, plastic's bad, we should get rid of it, or paper's bad, we should get rid of it. But it's like, okay, well, this is what's good about it, this is what's not good about it. Can we fix what's not so good about it, and then have an alternative option within the space to deliver said sustainability goal? And also looking and making sure that like there's data that supports making those changes, because a lot of times just because people are loud about it, it doesn't mean that there's actually a whole lot of like low-hanging fruit. And so now you go change something, and great, you made a change, but it didn't help the earth. And at the end of the day, I'm a person that I want to make impact. So like if I'm going to invest time and energy, because that's what the Lord's given us very little of is time here on earth. So like I feel like you have to focus on the time that you have being impactful. And so I don't want to spend time chasing things that just make a change to appease someone's opinion. I want to make a change that's actually going to change something in the course of history. So again, another piece that like gets me so excited about flexibles, because flexibles are what are under the gun. Like today, you see so much controversy, especially on LinkedIn, about what we do being so bad for the earth. And so that's another piece. When you ask me, like aside from the people, that's another piece that really energizes.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, on the time front, everyone gets 168 hours a week. You're typically awake for around 113 to 117 of those hours, and time is I say time is socialistic. Everybody has the same amount of time. That you can't make more of it. You only get less of it when you pass away. So as long as you're awake and you're breathing, you have the same amount of time as everybody else. It's just who can lean into the value of the time. And I have a whole rant I can go on about why social media is one of the best ways for sales and marketing people, because you disperse yourself across time and space. Right now we're recording this interview. I've posted a couple of things on LinkedIn. Somebody's probably engaging with it. Somebody's probably watching a video. but I don't have to be there, and I love that. So, and I know that you're a big proponent of leveraging social media. Well, let's kind of wrap this up here because I want to hear. I hadn't heard about Mocha. You just came on with your North Face jacket and Mocha Energy. I was like, I just thought it was a client. You just wanted to promote your client, but no, this is you. You are Mocha Energy. So let's talk about that, and then we'll can tell people how to buy it, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So obviously, in a sales role, I think you would agree that you're entrepreneurial by nature, right?
Yes.
Like I feel like all salespeople, good salespeople, are all entrepreneurs. We're all called to it. And so for years and years, I've been since I was a kid. Since I was like 8 years old, I can remember doing very entrepreneurial things and making money. And creating ways to make money. And so, I got into my 40s and I was like, geez, I've been playing with it. I had a lot of people pushing me, right? Like pushing me to jump in and get involved and do something. But I was always so risk averse. I had young kids at the time. And I was like, you know what? I wasn't at the right place in the right time in my life to do it. But then in my mid 40s, I got the itch and a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in coming on and partnering with me on this? And I thought on it, prayed on it, and it was the right thing to do. And that was like about 2 years ago. So it's something that I've been working on in the background for quite a while. And January 2026, I mean, you can buy the product right now in pre-sale on our website. So technically it's launched. Technically it's launched.
What's the website?
It's www.mochaenergy.com. And you can buy both our whole bean coffee bars as well as whole bean coffee. The whole bean coffee was an opportunity for people to support me as an entrepreneur. So it's not the product, but certainly at $20 a bag, my hope is that a lot of people will go buy coffee because a high percentage of that is profit. And we're able to take that and use it for fuel to grow the company. But the product itself is it's a whole bean coffee bar. It's a portable cup of coffee. It's made from coffee. It's not chocolate. So when you get it, you're going to look at it and say, wow, this looks like chocolate. It feels like chocolate in my mouth, but it's actually made from whole coffee beans. It contains 90 milligrams of caffeine. It's clean label and plays in that better for you space, delivering some functionality. So it gives you that feeling like you're having a sweet treat, the energy of a cup of coffee. And then you flip it over and you go, oh, hey, this thing's gluten-free and vegan and clean label. And it's got a whole bunch of good wellness attributes to it. Yeah, I don't feel so bad about eating this treat, Yeah, so three flavors, 3 SKUs. Our hero SKU is our dark roast. And then we have vanilla latte and a caramel cappuccino. And we're excited. 2026 is going to be a big year for us, blowing up, getting into some big retailers and going big on hopefully on social media through like TikTok Shop and through our own e-commerce. So really excited to see where this goes.
This is awesome. I was confused because I saw the price point and I didn't realize it said 12-pack. I was like, how come a multi-pack is $12.99 and the other one is this? Yeah. I thought it was a single bar was $53.99. I was like, oh man, that's
when we launch out into market single bar like into our key retailer, it'll be SRP at $4.99. Okay. But we're working through scale. We know that $4.99 is a lot for a bar. It's the equivalent of a cup of coffee. So we feel like if you're going to go get a Starbucks, this is your second or third cup occasion.
Oh, got it.
You can take it anywhere with you. You can eat it on the go. It has not only the caffeine, but the sustenance of being a food. It's a great snack. And so we know that we need to get the cost down. We have plans to get it down to like $3.99, at scale, which we think falls perfectly into through the polling that we've done. We feel like it falls perfectly into what the market would be willing to pay for something like that.
This is awesome. Well, ever go check out Mocha Energy, MOKA energy.com. If you're watching this, I've got the website pulled up here. Really, really slick website. Really cool idea. I hadn't heard of such a thing. I was thinking it was an energy drink. was not expecting it to be a coffee bar. So that's really cool. I love it. Well, Tom, I love anytime I get to talk to you. We're not only bald glasses wearing packaging nerds, but just the same kind of outlook on life and how we want to talk and treat people. I think it's great. So besides going to mochaenergy.com and supporting what you're doing with your pre-sale, how do people get in touch? Do they just have questions about flexible packaging or questions about anything? What's the best way to find you?
Yeah. I'm very visible on LinkedIn, so that's always a good way. But you can always reach out via email. My email is Seymour, Seymour, at bisonbag.com. That's a great way to get in touch. Or if you go to the contact us form on the website and you fill it out, it comes directly to me. So either way, you can get in contact with me, and then LinkedIn. And I hope that this podcast reaches someone that needs some help, and I can provide some support and change somebody's trajectory.
That's awesome. Tom, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll have to do it again soon. It's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.